Chào mừng quý vị quay trở lại với phần tiếp theo của chương trình Đồng tiền thông minh ngày hôm nay với chủ đề chúng ta bàn về tài chính cá nhân cho vay tiêu dùng với ông Friedrich Weiss là tổng giám đốc của Home Credit Việt Nam. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious. So the bank right now is kind of not touching on this market yet. Why?
At first, they didn't think that this market has a potential until when we came. Because now it's visible that we make a good business in this area. But what is more dangerous, that they think now that they can enter the market. Yeah?
Okay.
And some of the banks I know, they are planning to enter the market, I would say, in the last quarter of this year. But some of the banks will be not ready. Because I was also very long in banking, 19 years before I entered the consumer lending sector.
Sure.
And in Europe, happened the same. In Europe, many banks thought, when you can easily finance a loan for 100,000 US dollar, then it's very easy to make a loan for 500 US dollar.
Okay.
But this is not true. And many European banks faced really big problems. They entered all the segment, but in 2 years, they closed again this business because they faced very high risk costs, what you mentioned at the beginning.
Okay.
Because they didn't have the scoring systems in place, what we have, and they used the standard scoring systems, what they have in the banking system. But this is not sufficient. And our business is very IT-driven, operational-based, and scoring-based. And the banks are not prepared for this. And from this, I'm really afraid when they will enter, that the same history will repeat in Vietnam, what we faced in Europe, for example, 10 years ago.
Okay. Well, I know it's just secret about the scoring system. But I mean, if a bank or any organization, if they can build such score system, does that mean that they can enter this market?
That will work. That will definitely work, but it will take them at least to develop it for Vietnam, I would say 4 to 5 years. So you need really preparation that you do it properly. And you cannot do it in 1 year. You cannot do that.
So for now, I understand that most of your consumer, your clients are the people with a little bit lower income, middle and lower income.
Yeah.
How do you get your word out to those clients because they don't have much income, and how do you reach out to those people?
We don't have to reach out for the clients. You see us at the place where they buy the products. For example, when you buy a motorbike and when you buy a mobile phone, we will be sitting at this place and they see us there sitting and we are offering there the financing. So we don't have to advertise. Simply, the dealer is also saying, for example, the client wants to buy an iPhone. iPhone costs, for example, let's say $1,000. Yeah? Client has only $200 with him, and then the dealer says, okay, but when you want to finance it, we have here somebody who can finance it. Yeah? And there we are sitting, and we are offering the service immediately to the client, and that's our advantage. And furthermore, we have already in Vietnam over 1 million clients, and most of these clients are content with our services, and they finance already the product the second or third time over us.
What do you think about the demand from the consumer right now towards this kind of service?
For me,
how is the growth?
It was surprising, yeah? Because when I came in January 2012, everybody spoke, we have a crisis in Vietnam.
Okay.
But it was not a crisis because I was working before in Ukraine and Kazakhstan in 2008, and that was real crisis.
Okay.
And when I saw here the growth figures, I said, this is a boom, yeah? This is excellent. And for me, it was so surprising that the business is going so well, yeah? That for me, Vietnam, as businessman, is a dreamland, yeah?
Okay.
And now we can even see a recovery, so the business will still increase. And then I would compare these figures, what we can achieve here, like in the 80s in Europe. That was the same time when everybody really bought a lot, consumed a lot. So I see it very positive in Vietnam, the business.
How does that contribute to the development of the economy?
I think consumer lending in every country is very important because you give customers the possibility to consume more.
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
Because when I don't have enough money and I don't get financing, then the economy is in all countries suffering. Here, consumer lending takes really an important role because we give the people the chance, even when they don't have enough money, to finance it. And that has a positive impact on the dealers because they will be able to increase their business. And that goes back to the economy in taxes. Then you can decrease unemployment in the country, and the whole consumption goes up. And that is the positive aspect of consumer lending. Because I can give you also a different example, what we had in England. In England, the government thought consumer lending is not necessary. It's too expensive and the banks should do it to a much cheaper rates. Yeah? So the government implemented a rate cap. And what happened in England? The consumer lending companies disappeared, and then England got really into troubles. The economy went down, the unemployment increased, yeah, and then because the customers needed to finance their product, then the black market came into existence.
The black market loan.
Market. Yeah, they finance then the customers.
I think we have the same problem here now too.
And that is really a problem because the rates are much, much higher, yeah, and the government is missing the tax income. And that was the problem in England, and England revised the decision. After a few years of these problems, they again said, okay, we will not have an interest cap, and we invite the consumer lending companies back. And they saw now that consumer lending has really a big impact, a positive impact on the economy.
So the demand is here in Vietnam, and it's growing, like you said. But what is your biggest challenge then of this model of business?
The biggest challenge is definitely what you have mentioned, that we have to teach the customers, to inform them more. Yeah. A big challenge is also a misunderstanding of our business still. Let's say also from media, from a regulator point of view, because some people still compare us with banks. But we are really different, and that's the biggest challenge. Yeah. Another challenge, of course, for me personally, it was a new country with a new culture. Yeah? Sure. And it took me also some time to understand that the business is very relationship-driven. Yeah? In Asia, it's really relationship-driven business. Without relation, you cannot make any business. But otherwise, I really love the country. I love Asia. People are friendly. Potential is here. So you cannot expect more.
They need to buy more products.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, understand that in Vietnam we have a cash culture. So people like to pay cash. How does that affect your business?
In fact, for us, it's not negative because the client comes to the shop, he buys the product, and we care about the settlement. The client, for him, is the same like cash. Yeah, and for the dealer as well, because the dealer has within 3 days his money, we transfer it over the bank, but for the customer it's no different if he comes with cash or he gets the loan with us. So it's no problem for us.
But for the dealers, what kind of benefits that they get from this cooperation with you?
They get much more clients because you can imagine when I'm a client, I have only $200 in my pocket. I can buy a mobile only for $200. Yeah, but when somebody's here who finances me, I can buy the better mobile. I can buy it for 500 or 700, although I have only 200 in my pocket. Yeah?
To increase the chance of buying things.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll get back to that after the show. Right? Thank you so much. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là những chia sẻ của ông Friedrich Weiss, là tổng giám đốc của Home Credit Việt Nam. Quý vị có thể xem lại đoạn phỏng vấn này trên trang web đồng tiền thông minh fbnc.com hoặc là facebook.com/đồng tiền thông minh. Chúng tôi sẽ còn quay trở lại sau ít phút nữa.